thank you for being here.
Yeah, well, get out
Yeah.
there and show them how it's done. I feel like you do everything.
Yeah, we were just like chatting. We were like, where does she find the time? And you have your mom on top of it.
Come on. What time do you wake up in the morning?
Yeah.
8, honey. I love you so much. Hey, babe. Brian, can you assist him? He brought in a bar stool to be an audience.
That's right. We'll take an audience any day.
Guest starring.
Taking him
He's
out.
like, Mom, you can't do it without me.
I know. I've had a couple podcasts this week, and so I'm just having to tell people like they're home from school, so
No,
it's part of your life and who you are. I mean, we love it. I think that's so much of your following is obsessed. You're just authentic and real with every experience you have.
Thank you so much.
Start, Jen.
Talk to us about how this like exploded.
Being an RN nurse and being like, I'm going to do a video and then it goes viral.
I mean, a little bit kind of. So whenever I first started, I wasn't, let me get them out of here first so I can focus. Hey, Luke, I love you so much. You got to get out of here, bro. Okay. Go color a picture for me. Okay. He has to color a snowman for school. So if you want to get him started on that.
Snowman for the snow that doesn't exist.
This is
Exactly. There's no snowman building. Okay. Just, the only snowman building is the picture he has to draw.
It's so funny.
So I definitely did not get started thinking that any of this would happen for sure. So my very first video was me trying to figure out what the plus button was at the bottom of the TikTok screen. I was like, oh, you know, and it started out as me just posting like silly mom stuff that I thought was funny. And it's not that there was 2020 is whenever I
pandemic during the great disturbance.
The great disturbance. It's great disturbance is a great way of putting that. Yeah, I started making videos then, but I would say 2021, 2022 is really when things started kicking off for me. And it wasn't like there was like one video that, you know, went viral. It was just like slow, steady. I guess I shouldn't say slow. It was pretty consistent growth from there. So.
What do you feel like the first one that really captured like who you were and that your followers were like, yes, I need to keep listening to her and see these funny videos? Was there one that you feel that was that?
The very first like series that I had where people were following along was I did something called Homemaking for the Modern Mom. So it was just kind of like a spoofy, sarcastic, like making trad wife tutorial where I would, you know, show how I do laundry, and that would be letting it go for an entire week, washing it, and then throwing it on my bed, because if I put it on my bed, that means that I'll have to do something with it before I go to bed, and then just shoving it off the bed when it's time.
And you shove it off the bed.
Makes it to the chair.
My brother and sister-in-law have 3 kids, and I laugh because they have 2 washing machines, one upstairs, downstairs. I'm like,
oh man.
It is a profession.
Just putting it away. You can do the washing. The putting it away is miserable.
Yeah. We moved last year, and one thing I always said that I wanted, we were going to build a house, but I always said I wanted the laundry room attached to the closet. Like I was like, that would make so much sense if we did that. And my husband was like, well, we're going to have to build. Like that doesn't exist. And we found a house where the laundry room was attached to the closet.
You manifested it. I love it.
Whenever we walked in, I just looked at him. I was like,
here it is, babe.
Yeah. I love trying to play cool to keep it like, we love it, but no, we'll take it. So where do we find?
Yes. First off, I had a question that I really am so curious. What made you go into nursing? Because my husband's a medical recruiter, and he always says to me, he's constantly speaking with nurses and doctors all day long. And he always says to me, my God, being in the medical field, those people, he's like, they are a different breed. I don't know how they do it. We give you so much credit, but what made you want to be a nurse, like RN?
Well, my mom is a nurse. So my mom, whenever I was really little, she was the manager of Pizza Inn. So I got to like refill the Parmesan shakers and stuff.
We love you. I love it.
Yeah. So, and then whenever I was 5 years old, she went to nursing school. And so I got to watch her learn nursing from our kitchen table. And so I'd sit down with her and do my homework while she did her homework. It was like we were kind of growing up together. And she would tell me that being a nurse was just taking care of sick people, right? I
Mhm.
mean, that's what it is whenever you're a kid. And so I just imagined her doing what she did for me whenever I was sick. So for a long time, I thought it was just like Gatorade slushies and wet washcloths on your forehead,
Yes.
you know?
She's making soup for all patients. I love it.
And so whenever I was, let me turn my stuff on Do Not Disturb because I'm getting a text. Need to focus. Um, so when I was growing teenager style, my mom was like, "Hey, if you're wanting to be a nurse," which I had told her that I did, she said, "Why don't you come and volunteer at the hospital? And so you can kind of see what it's about and what it's like." And I was intrigued. I was just so enamored with like watching nurses and seeing what they did. So as a volunteer, I would like refill water pitchers or answer the phones or, do all the ancillary things that I could. But I had like the most hours of any volunteer that year. I got like a little pin just because I loved doing it so much. And so um, then I went to nursing school. That was hard, but whenever I came out, I was like, this is exactly what I always wanted to do.
It's an admirable profession. And
Thank
I
you.
feel like I said before you came on, God bless nurses, right? The ones that are good, that they keep that hospital moving.
Honestly, I literally told Sarah, I was like, I have one son, and when I gave birth, I was like, that labor and delivery nurse was with me every step of the way. And it just so happens her name was Candace. We had the same name.
Oh,
But it
cool.
was
That's
like, I
awesome.
had this thing where I was like, I'm glad my husband was there. But at the same time, I was like, she can't leave me. Like, I wanted her. She was like my support.
Yeah.
Like women must go through labor and like literally you're their angel because you don't realize how much of that we need. We don't know what we're doing and we're scared and it's a health issue and it's all these things, with social media now, you just see so many stories that you get so scared to go through
Yeah.
these things. And then someone like you being by their side is such a relief. That must feel like such a gift.
It's one of the great honors of my life is to walk with people through the most vulnerable moments. And I know that I am going to like you always remember who's with you during that moment, good or bad. So, I mean, what an honor to be there in the moment where like the most impactful moments of their life happen.
Yeah. So did you specialize to become a labor nurse, or did you go out into the hospital as a general nurse? Like,
Yeah.
talk to me as someone, my brother works in the ER as a doctor of medicine, poison control and emergency medicine.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
hear stories from the emergency room, which have their own
Yeah.
stresses and exhaustion to it.
Yeah.
But what was your path?
I started out in the ER. This is where I
Oh,
started.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's part of me that always loves like the adrenaline and the like immediate helping of someone is something that I really enjoyed because there's a lot of things that come to the emergency department that you can fix immediately. Like you identify the problem, you fix it. And so I started out my nursing career working as like a bedside ER nurse. And then like a year in, I walked into work and they're like, "You're the charge nurse today."
Oh
And
my.
I thought it was such an honor. Like, what an honor that they would choose me, pick me for the honor of being charge nurse. But that was because no one else would do it.
I was
So,
just gonna say, if you were to say that to me, I mean, I'm not a nurse at all, but that would terrify me. And I only know
oh
that
yeah,
the pit and I see what the charge nurse is, and I'm
yeah,
like, that's
yeah.
insane.
So I was charge
Yeah.
nurse for a long time. I did a lot of that. Oh, get out of here. My cat is chewing on my car. Okay.
I
Um,
must be though within your personality, right? This is
yeah.
something you cannot train people to
No,
have.
it's innately you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, thanks. And then the last year that I was in the ER, I was the assistant director, which oh my gosh, I hated it so much. I mean, like you add the stress of, already, with patients and like long wait times and angry people and stuff like that. But then you compound that with staff who could be upset about, being short or getting yelled at or, by patients or the violence that happens. And so it was just a lot. So I ended up doing that for a year. And at the end of that year, I was like, I cannot do this, not one more second. And so I
Mhm.
looked on the jobs page for my hospital, and I was really just looking for another schedule because the schedule that I had was just too much. And
Yeah.
so I saw a weekend option labor and delivery position, and I was like, that's
Mm.
intriguing. Labor and delivery wasn't anything that I was like really enamored with in
Yeah.
nursing school. I just remembered it being a really wet place to work.
Dying right now.
Oh
I'm
my God, that's
dying.
the funniest description.
I'm also a little nauseous, but I'm dying. That's so funny.
It's like when you
So,
like you have to watch the delivery video.
Oh my
You're
God, I
like,
died. That video made me
no.
never want to have sex. I saw that video at school and I was like, I'm never having sex. Why are they showing us this
I
video?
don't want to do that ever. Yeah, I remember that feeling too. But I was like, I can try it for, a weekend position. I mean, that sounds amazing. So I went, like, it was Friday that I looked at that job. On Sunday, I was shadowing. And by that next Friday, I had already signed papers like, yes, sign me up. Because I walked in, and first of all, they had more nurses for like, I mean, not even like a fifth of the patients that we had in the ER. And I
Wow.
was like, how does this work? And then
Right.
I was shadowing a nurse and she said, okay, let's go see our patient, and didn't add an S to the end of that. I was like, what could you possibly mean by this? What do you mean one patient? And so I got to watch nurses like truly enjoy what they were doing and not feel like they wanted to quit at the end of the shift, And I was like, how is it felt like a magical universe that didn't really exist in real life,
Yeah. Jen, can
And
you
of
talk
course,
that
yeah.
with, like we say, this being a nurse in these situations, high pressure, overworked. Can you talk a little about burnout in that
Oof.
experience? Maybe even nurses that are listening or people in the medical field.
Yeah. I found myself losing my empathy for people.
Oh,
And that was like my red flag
yeah.
Mhm.
where I started feeling so jaded by like the last night that I worked, I was the in the ER. I was the triage nurse for like 36 patients in the lobby,
Oh,
like an 8-hour wait. And like there was nothing that I could do to make anyone happy. I mean, I was having to make life and death decisions.
yes.
And of course, people are angry because I'm the face of the wait. And
Yeah.
I was getting called a cunt, a bitch,
Oh,
All the
everything.
words.
Yeah.
everything. And so I was like, I don't like, I found myself getting angry at people, just on the inside, because that was how I was being treated, but it wasn't me that they were mad at. It was just what I represented.
At the
So when
line of
I felt
work.
that, yeah, whenever I
What's
felt
maybe
that,
yeah. What's
what
my
that
question is there any way to fix the system?
I think that fixing the system involves a whole lot of nurses coming together and deciding what we're going to put up with, I guess. And
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing plaguing nursing right now is the willingness of hospital administrations to put nurses in unsafe situations, staffing wise, violence wise, because we are expected to, as nurses, kind of like the duty of, we're there for the patient. We have to be sacrificial in our care, and that we have to sacrifice our safety, our sanity. And so when we show up to care for people, I mean, there's this level of like, oh, well, that's what you signed up for,
Ah,
when
wow.
Absolutely.
when we can be put in unsafe situations, and just because that's who we're supposed to be, is we're supposed to be carers and sacrificial in that caring. And so I think that speaking it out, calling out unsafe staffing. So, like, one thing that I've done recently on social media is let patients know
Yeah.
Mhm.
that when they go to labor and delivery, there's a set of staffing standards that the hospital should be following. And there are people that are not happy that I'm saying that. And I'm sorry, I think that patients have a right to know that they should expect safe staffing when they go into the hospital. Now, there's always going to be things that come up, right? Like you could have call outs or a snowstorm or like a surge in patients. But on a basis, everyday level, a hospital should be staffing with an appropriate number of nurses to care for the patients to keep them safe. But there are hospitals that are getting away with unsafe staffing because they can, because no one has bumped the system yet, you know?
It's
So
so
I think that,
interesting that you're saying this, Jen, because
yeah,
my husband would literally be on the phone for like hours talking with nurses, and they have disability clinics that he's constantly staffing. And he will say, he's like, we need to make this environment safe because this nurse is scared of X, Y, and Z because this happened on her last job. And he was
yeah,
like, we realize all these standards that need to be met in order for everyone to have a pleasant experience and for everyone to be safe. So I think it's
right.
that you call it out. I see him go through it, just having conversations. You know,
Yeah.
and also shortage is huge. Every day he's like, oh no, another nurse quit. I was like, really? He's like, we got to fill that spot because I know this patient is only going to be there for so long. And it's like, it's a whole thing, and it trickles down, right? It's like a
Yeah.
pyramid. It's like you pull
Yeah.
the Jenga, you pull it out, it's all going to collapse.
But also these people, like my dad was a retired cop and my brother working in the ER, you see reality of life
Oh boy. Okay.
Right.
every day. So this, I love what you say in your social media. You're a toxic empath, which I feel like, man, it's like a magical like power that we have to have
Maybe, but
empathy.
yeah.
But to another
Yeah.
extent, it's exhausting, especially
Yeah.
in a state of emergencies or even just like heightened things with birth. Like you're wearing a lot, you're holding a lot, and I think
Yeah.
nurses feel that.
I do too. And I'm going to spin this because I want to get to this because I think it's
I
important.
want to talk about the magic of birth.
I know. We need to inform Sarah about the magic part. But I do want to say this: you're innately funny.
Oh, thank you.
And that is good to have. My brother always compares. He's like, I'd rather watch Scrubs than ER any day.
Yeah.
So
Humor.
funny, right?
Yes.
And I do think being in a very intense industry like the medical industry, it's so tense. It could be so dark at times. To have someone who has humor, a light about them that you do.
Yes.
I mean, I love that. And you put it on social media, which has taken you to a whole new light,
New heights.
where you're writing a book and your book's coming out soon. It's like, what? Was there a moment when you were like, oh wow, I'm really funny and I could like make these videos, or were you just like flying by the seat of your pants?
The seat of my pants every single day. There, I will tell you that 99% of the stuff that I post, I have no idea what I'm going to say until it comes out of my mouth. I don't have a content calendar. I don't plan out like, okay, on this day I'm going to say this funny thing. Like I just say the things that I say in real life, and I mean, my best videos have been just me thinking something and just doing it. And a lot of people, whenever they're asking me, like I got asked to go teach a class recently on editing. Did you see that video?
I did. That's why I'm laughing. I saw you and you were like,
So there's a local news anchor who teaches a college class about media, and like he's obviously traditional like TV stuff. He wanted some like element of the social media thing, and he knows me, so he's like, "Hey, will you come teach my class?" And he was emailing with me, and my sister handles my emails, and my sister was like, "Okay, what do you want her to talk about?" And he's like, "High level." And Julie was like, I don't think this is your girl." But I want him to know like how you do your stuff. And so I went there and I like screen mirrored my phone to the like the big, not a whiteboard, whatever, the comes down projector thing. And I just did a video how I would, like pressing the record button when I want to say something and hitting stop whenever I'm doing the thumbs down.
the fact that you're using your thumbs to hit record
Yeah.
makes me laugh because that's basically you're talking my language because that's what I know how to do. I know how to hit the record button and then I go,
Yeah.
do I hold it or do I just press it? Like that's literally my extent of my skills.
Yeah.
Great, and I love
And
it.
so then I just added like a bunch of random effects to it. And I'm like, but I don't do that in real life. I'm just showing you like, okay, here's how you can zoom in and like,
I think that makes you so special is that you're just like, this is what I do, man. I'm as honest
Yeah.
as it could be. And that's where like you're not preparing in this way as like an influencer.
Because
you
that
are
is the
just
thing.
wearing like, this is my thought. And this is how I
Yes.
feel.
And because that is the thing these
And that
days.
makes it likable for like all the people
Yes.
following
And
you.
every person on social media these days, like what Sarah's saying, we just want to find someone likable, relatable
Authentic.
like you.
Like you are real.
But a lot of people are going, like you said, I'm gonna post on this hour on this day. My algorithm looks the best here, and you're like, I don't know. I just post. You don't even have a set time that you're posting. You're just like,
no, no. Backstory. So my
Like
my
that.
Facebook, yeah, my Facebook got hacked last year. It was like, I say last year, but it just still feels like 2025.
I
In
know.
2024, my Facebook got hacked. And I had made like all these other posts on other platforms, like, please go block that Facebook. I have no control over it anymore, whatever. Well, a friend of a friend knew someone at Facebook and was able to help me get it back. So I wasn't really doing much with Facebook at all. But when I got it back, like I started posting on there because it's like, oh, I have it back now. I should probably start posting. So I just started taking my content from TikTok and putting it on Facebook, and it blew up like over 1 million followers. And so Facebook contacted me and they were like, hey, we want to fly you out so that you can tell our Facebook people like how you did it, basically. And so I get there, and there's a few other people there with me. I think there was like 8 of us. I'm the only girl, and it's all these like guy content creators or whatever. And we're all in these like think tank things about how they can improve their analytics and stuff. I'm like, where is that? Like, I've never even opened that before. They're like, how can we make this easier for you to use? And I was like, me what an analytic is. I don't know what we're talking about right now.
You're making my day right now because I feel like I have conversations with my husband. You know, we're all doing the hustle of life, and he'll just be like, "Did you check your analytics?" I'm like, "Did you check yours?" He's like, "I don't even
Right.
post, Candace." I'm like, "Great,
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're saying." Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So the way that I've done stuff is I just posted what I want
Stop
when I
that.
want it.
You're doing it because you want to do it, right?
Yeah.
It became this success. Are you still full-time nursing?
I work the same as I have whenever whenever I first got the job in 2018, I was working Saturdays and Sundays and then 1 day a week every other week during the week. So it was like 2.5 days a week. And so now I'm to 2 days a week, but I haven't stopped or slowed down working since all this started, you know? So I still work every weekend, and like I'll be working this weekend during another snowstorm that
We'll talk
we
about
had.
it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, but you're
Freaking
you're
snowstorm.
pregnant, about to have a baby.
You're
and
pregnant
like,
about to
and
have a baby
there's
snowstorm.
coming.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to tell some stories?
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite delivery story that you're like,
Yeah.
this was hilarious?
Wonderful, magical.
I know. I
Okay.
wrote the hilarity because I thought it was just so funny delivery. It was hilarious to me.
So
My
this one happened
sister-in-law
a
had
while.
was a teaching hospital, and so they kept moving her into different positions as like
Oh,
students came in, and she's
Yeah.
just like trying to give birth, and students are walking in and everything, and she's just like, "Oh my
What do you
goodness."
got, Jen? Give us some.
Okay, so this one happened a while ago, but I come in to my shift and I am taking care of a girl that's been pushing for a long time, right? And it's hard to meet somebody new in that time because it's like you're kind of almost done, but you're having to like get to know somebody new real quick before all this happens. And so the energy in the room was low, you know, and I'm trying to hype her up. She was real sad because things were taking a long time. And I was like, hey, let's listen to some music. Is there any kind of music that you would like to listen to? And she said, she looked at her husband and she's like, spy music. And I was like, okay, all right. That's interesting. But listen, I'm here to accommodate.
Yeah,
Okay?
you're like, whatever you need.
I get out um my Spotify and I look up spy music and it's like dun 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 dun, like the Mission Impossible. Okay.
007.
Yeah. And so I start playing it and I'm getting into it like, yeah, like here we go, like this is a secret mission and you're gonna do it. It's a Mission Impossible. And she's looking at me and then looking at her husband, and then looking at me, and she said, I said spa music.
Oh, I'm beside
Like
myself.
relaxing spa music. But she had a
my God,
southern
that's so
accent and it came
good.
out spa, like spa music.
Oh my God, did they at least laugh? That is
Yeah,
so.
they thought it was funny.
Was it like
She
funny?
laughed so hard she pushed.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
that. That's very,
We
very
did
funny.
have a vaginal birth after that. Mission Impossible. We
She
did
did.
it.
My God. You know what, Jen? I have a friend who plays music when she's like on her fourth kid because her birthing experiences were not mine. I had a C-section, but her birthing experience is literally like I play the music that I'm like feeling that day. She's like, and if my husband makes me laugh, the baby just comes out. I was like, no amount of jokes was getting
Right.
in my body out of my
I was thinking some like heavy bass. Like I would like some like Luda. Like let's get like bass. And we're like, oh, we're pushing,
Yeah.
like Miami dropping like it's hot.
Drop
That's
it
what I'm
like it's
thinking.
hot. Ooh, Sarah.
That's how
That's
you
good.
get pregnant.
That's
but,
true. Well, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, God.
You have a book coming out.
That's really
I do.
Birth
You wrote
Vibes.
a book, girl.
Book. Yes, it took a
A
very long
whole
time.
book.
Experience.
It's not easy.
Coming out in May.
It's coming out in May. It's called Birth Vibes.
Yeah.
One moment, please. Can I help you, sir? Okay, but it's not in here right now. So I love you very much. Okay.
What can I do?
Where's your dad? That's what you can do is you can find your dad.
Question I asked my son the other day. Where's Dad?
I don't know
All
what
right,
to do.
both boys. I love you so much. Okay. I'm on a podcast literally in this moment, right this second. Okay. Ellis, take care of your brother and have him not.
5 more minutes of mom's time. That's it.
Else can I play?
Oh goodness. Okay.
It's about birth vibes.
Yes. So Birth Vibes is coming out May 5th. It is a book for anyone who is going to have a baby, has had a baby, wants to have a baby, or anyone who just enjoys stories of like human connection and compassion. So the reason that I wrote the book was that I have a lot of patients who come in with very specific birth plans about things that they want to happen. Because during pregnancy, we're all dreaming about that perfect birth scenario of like what would a good birth look like for me? And a lot of people focus on what happens, right? On I want this to happen, I don't want this to happen. And if things go differently, that can cause some disappointment, some grief, some trauma. But also in hearing people talk about their birth stories, a lot of the people who had really traumatic births were not describing things that were medically traumatic, right? Like I had an emergency C-section, or, I had to have a vacuum, or like my baby had to be resuscitated, or something really, really medically traumatic. They described things like I wasn't listened to, or I didn't feel heard, I didn't feel respected, I felt rushed. And so I realized that there's so much more to birth than the what
Yes.
happened. It's mostly about how it happens, because you can have a birth go completely to plan and check off every box on your list, but if you don't feel respected, communicated with empathy, if you don't feel like you were able to make decisions for yourself, that can lead to grief, disappointment, and trauma. And then on the flippity flop of that, you can have somebody who has a birth that goes completely off the rails, but if they were communicated with in an empathetic and compassionate way, if they were given the opportunity to make decisions for themselves, and if they felt like they were in a safe place, they can leave that experience feeling positive about what happened, even though things went way crazy. So the book kind of builds on the idea of a birth plan, but allows people to build kind of like this cocoon of safety around them so that no matter what happens in their birth, they still have elements of their birth plan that protect the other stuff, the communication, the support, the environment, the adaptability that you can have, and what kind of information you need to make informed and empowered decisions for yourself. So the first half are like HIPAA compliant stories. So they're all real things that have happened in my experience as a labor and delivery nurse, but I would like take one thing from this person, put it with this person, kind of like, so it's HIPAA compliant. And they each represent an element of birth that can make or break your situation, right? So it each builds on the birth vibe. After each of those chapters, it kind of allows you as the reader to be able to build that for yourself. And then the second half of the book is all the basic information that you might need to know if you're going in to have a baby. What kind of decisions might you be asked to make, or what kind of information might you need to know before you make a decision that's maybe not in your plan? So it's all about kind of informing people to be able to make their own empowered decisions.
Amazing.
So important.
The thing that you said at the last part and the latter is it is interesting when we go to doctor's appointments where they say, oh, bring somebody else, because it becomes a dizzying situation. And
Yeah.
birth, right? One of the biggest moments in a woman's life and a family's life, you're not thinking necessarily straight, right? As well. But I wanted to ask you this as well. You're talking about in the control of the patient, the mother. What about how important the bedside manner is to the nurse? Like, have you done some training or working with other nurses to kind of use your superhero power of empathy?
Absolutely. And I think that everyone has a different personality, right? There's going to be straight shooters. There's going to be people who are, all about encouragement or sweetness, and we each have our own needs as patients about what we need from somebody. And so I think that one of the beauties of nursing is that on any given shift, there's so many of us with different skills, right? So in the book, I talk about how if you have a nurse with a different skill set than you might need and you don't feel like you're vibing, that you can ask for a different nurse. And I give, scripts and stuff on how you can do that. Because it can be as simple as like, hey, I need a different nurse. That can be as simple as that. I am very much a people pleaser. I do not like confrontation. And so I'm somebody that would want like help me figure out how to ask for this in a kind and compassionate way. um and so I give some of that, but then also I think that with the book I hope to show especially new nurses that there is a different way to interact with your patients than maybe even you were taught in nursing school,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of like mean girl stuff in nursing, and a lot of us were had some trial by fire and were thrown into situations that we probably shouldn't have been, or shown how to care for patients in not a very empathetic and compassionate way. But kind of turning the table on that, we don't have to be that way. Here are some, and I hope to show in the book that there are some ways that you can connect with people that maybe you haven't thought about. So that our patients, and I just feel like we get so much more out as nurses if we're able to connect with people in a human way. And if you're kind of like being standoffish or judgy, or I mean, you're only cheating yourself too. I just feel like there's so much love and joy and kindness and happiness that we can get from our jobs that we do if we interact with people in a compassionate and empathetic way.
My God, there's so much I could literally talk to you for so long, because I just feel like you have so much great knowledge, but also such a great way of looking at this medical field that so many of us are scared of. Like, I will be honest, I'm a scared human walking into a hospital, even if I have to get just a blood test. I'm like, what is happening?
We're going into hospitals to get help.
Right. And I'm always
so it's not always walking. You're not walking in to be like,
No.
that's going to be an easy day.
No, but I feel like
I hope it is.
but I feel like if I'm walking with Jen, I'm okay.
Jen, you're also doing amazing. You have an amazing nonprofit.
Yeah. What is this Hot Mess Express? Please tell me.
Talk to us.
So it started back in 2021. I was on Facebook and saw, or I'm sure you guys have probably seen like moms groups on Facebook, like local moms groups. So I'm
Yes.
in one of those, and there was a mom who wrote anonymously in the group about needing cleaning help. She said, "Can somebody like tag some cleaning companies around me?" She said, "I'm postpartum. I can't get out of bed. Like she had postpartum depression. She had another child. She just felt like she had gotten so behind that she didn't even know where to start." So there were a lot of people tagging like cleaning companies. And she also said, like, please, I can't afford this, but I'm gonna have to do something.
It's expensive. It really
Yeah,
is.
it's very expensive. And so people were tagging some cleaning companies. And I made a separate post like, hey, we are the village. Like, why can't we go help this girl? Like, is there anybody willing to go with me? If she's willing, like, let's figure out where she lives. Let's go and help her. And I had like there was like 10 of us who showed up to her house, and we sent them it took a lot of trust on her end too, to have like these 10 moms show up. And I mean, it's hard to let anybody in your
Please
home.
come
Yeah.
inside.
Oh my God, I love this. I honestly,
You are a
postpartum
doer.
and like all those things, if 10 women, 10 moms, no less, showed up at
Yeah.
the store, I think I would just collapse into a puddle crying, like,
Yeah.
hug me. That was
Yeah. So we sent her out, her and her family away, and for like the next 4 to 6 hours, we cleaned her house top to bottom. We did all of her laundry and put it away. We swept, we mopped, we organized, we did her dishes, we set up some crock pot meals. We went to Walmart and filled her
Sensational human.
I love
Oh,
that.
you're so sweet. I mean,
We're walking in the path of Jen.
I just love that because honestly, that's like walking back into her house. That poor woman probably felt there's a hot meal, laundry's done, like
yeah.
the checklist
Yeah.
like dwindled
And
down,
how
and that feels so
important
good.
that home feels
Yes.
as a mother, right? You're
Yes.
nesting and everything.
Our goal is just to give people like of not just a house reset, but a mind reset, to be able to walk forward in progress and peace, you know.
And is it
And
still happening?
yes, it's still happening. It's all over the country. And so if you go to hotmessexpress.co, you can
Yeah.
kind of find where the chapters are. We encourage people to join a chapter if there's one already in your area, and then make a chapter if there's not. I mean, we have so many people who need help, but it's for any woman who's kind of feeling like they are overwhelmed and they can't get ahead. We've helped moms who have moms with Alzheimer's. Like, we've gone in to help the mom with Alzheimer's. And so it's just really about women helping women. And it's just a beautiful thing. I have had to step back from it, from my own personal life getting a little bit crazier, but I still support everything that they do. And I'm so glad that we've been able to help as many women as we have.
You're
Well,
doing
you
so
have,
much.
yeah, you're doing so much. We want to take up more of your time, but I
Yeah.
want to ask you, you have such an impressive, your experience, your resume. I mean, you've been featured in the New York Times, CNN, Huffington Post, and now with this outrageous platform that you have, what is the message you want your followers to know in every video that you do? And, what is your like, what do you hope you can give back to the world as an influencer?
Just human kindness. I feel like that's a lot of what's missing in the world, and that, if we can connect with people as human beings and remember that each of us is living here for the first time, we're all experiencing life for the first time, and understanding that, people have stuff going on that you'd never know about. And so just seeking the best intent, treating everyone with respect and kindness, and doing everything that you can every day to make the world a better place.
God, someone just
Peace and love.
I want to.
Peace and love. That's it.
Caroline is to hug you.
Yeah, I know. Me and my girlfriend keep using that for everything. Like,
Peace
when we
and
get
love.
stressed, we're just like, peace and love, peace and love. Everything's peace and love. Because inevitably we all have some type of stress happening, and you just got to find it.
You're
Yeah.
okay. Birth Vibes comes out May 5th. We can pre-order it. Everyone can follow you on Instagram, obviously. Please keep doing the work that you're
Yeah.
doing.
Thank
We need more people like you in this world. As we know, it's a crazy world. So we're big supporters of you. We're gonna
Yeah.
follow you everywhere.
Thank you. I really appreciate
It's
that.
working real hard out there.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Go back to those beautiful
Yeah,
kids.
too.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, my love.
Be well. Thanks
Bye.
again.
I love her.
That was awesome, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I good luck with the snow.
Go. Yes.
Yes, definitely. Lord, they're expecting like 6 to 8 inches where I am. And my parents were driving me back and well, they drove me to work and from work last week, but I had to stay overnight. And I have to do that again on this weekend, and I don't
Oh,
want to do
boy.
it so much.
How are the kids when you are overnight? Are they okay?
So they're like, why have you left us? You
I know. How have you abandoned us?
Yes, that I'm never coming back. 2 boys, yeah. One is 13, and then the other is 9.
Gosh.
Good ages.
I bet.
Exciting
Yeah.
age.
Yeah. Mine is almost 2, and I feel like this is an interesting age, but 13.
Very, very interesting. We're getting into like the puberty, the acne, the body hair, the all of it.
You're in it. You're gonna have a whole new book to write in a few years.
I know.
Good luck with everything.
Thank
Thanks
you.
All right,
again.
thank y'all.
Oh, I just love it. How amazing.
I just love that Candace squirms so much when the people don't hang up.
Me too. I'm like, hang up.
She's like, just like
Hang up.
looks away, like I'm hanging up.
I'm still recording, so we could do an outro. But she was amazing.
Yeah, it's spectacular for people to use their platforms in this powerful way but also to take what they do in their everyday work as a nurse and is being honest about what they go through, what and the fact that she got a book deal, girl. Yeah,
I love book
I'm
deal.
like, I should write, and they're like, please write for us.
I mean, the book deal, all of it, but what I loved so much more than she's a doll, but what got me was she was like, what analytics, what posting? Because there's all this stress for social media content creators, when to post, what to post, how to look. And she was like, no.
I mean, that's the big thing, right? Where some people are lucky and they get this kind of like just doing it, and they're like, I'm just being me.
She's just
and
being
then
her.
There's people, and that's incredible.
So
that's
fun.
like God sent down on you and said, I shall give you that.
She was like,
and she's doing it, but she's doing it for good, right? And but also there's people that you could force it, right? Force it through you're going to do everything to make sure you might never see it. And that's just life itself.
Yeah, it's true. And then the fact that her book is focusing on the birth plan, I didn't interject when she was talking because I wanted her to get it out. It's really important for women wanting to have a baby, currently pregnant, had a baby, wherever you are in your journey. It's important to know that you do have a birth plan, whatever that plan could be. But you also have to know that anything could happen.
That's
and
what
I think it's really, I didn't have a birth plan. My birth plan was literally like, hey, can I just have a C-section? I knew I didn't want to push because I had so many past injuries.
I don't understand
the birth plans.
I'm going to be right up.
Should I give you your birth plan? You're just going to have a C-section.
No, because this is the story. I'm not a mother. I don't know if I'll be a mother, but it's like these women that want to control everything. Your wedding is not going to be perfect. Your birth plan is not. Do you know what I'm saying?
You have trust me, way more control over your wedding day than you will your birth.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why don't we say there's love at the end of this? There's babies at the
she didn't get into it.
May I trust these brilliant doctors that have worked so hard. However, the biggest thing I took away from the birth plan is feeling heard. And that's where I question the other side, that what she's saying is the being a nurse is empathetic, that you're not churning it out like it's a business. And that's very hard when that's what you do every day.
And other people will say, because I had this thrown at me while I was in the hospital, people will say, oh, you elected to have a C-section. And I said, yes. Well, don't you want to try and push? Like I had one nurse say, you're not even going to try. And then my view was, this is me trying. Yeah. This is my best effort because I know my body and my physical surgeries and all that stuff before then. This is my choice. So everyone has a judgment around it, which she does not.
Yeah. And isn't that incredible that this person that can speak to you like that, you'll never forget those words. And that's where these moments, and just like I think about with weddings, they are extremely heightened. So how it's treated, people don't forget about it. No. And for me, it's like, I think about, listen, I did not plan a wedding. I have not planned a birth plan, but I think life itself is uncontrollable.
You kind of just have to fly.
Why don't we just hope for the best?
That's what Tom was like, whatever.
Just think what's happy. Like, do what makes you happy.
Do what makes you. Tom literally said the same thing for like 3 months leading into giving birth. He was like, the healthiest choice that we all three of us leave the hospital. Like literally that's what I kept saying. Because you get scared into a lot of things and you don't know and whatever.
Bad, but it made me a little upset that women want to control something that is you just want to be healthy and happy.
There's a big energy around Mama Bear. I'm pushing this baby out, which by the way, that is beautiful. And I think if you want that, you go for it. But if for me, I didn't have that energy around it because I just wanted to come out okay because I had so many fears before that. I had so many surgeries.
It's something that I as someone that wants to be an empath, I have trouble with, because this is the biggest thing I got out of therapy this week is stop trying to control things that you have no control over.
Well, I think that's what her book is going to tell you is that here's how you adapt.
Yes,
you do need to be adaptable. In those situations,
adapt when this is the height of like that's the thing is like thank God
she's going to give us a little.
I know
she said.
That's incredible
because you don't know how to like verbalize it. You literally just like help. So I think that's great.
I think about our lives, and when we wanted to plan our lives, right? You plan and you plan, but then you have to let the freedom happen. You have to and hope for the best. I think the same about people looking for the perfect man. Oh, I have X, Y, and Z. There isn't. So when there will be bumps in the road.
Yes.
So we just have to make sure we all are healthy and survive.
And play a little spy music. But I died.
No, I was there for it.
I'm dead. Don't start.
What would be your music?
I did like when we gave birth, I had like it was like 60s and 70s and 80s all mixed in. It was like
waterfalls.
Totally Eclipse of the Heart was playing.
Just very wet sound.
When she said wet, I'm out.